You're such a brat sometimes. It's day 12.
Day 12.
So exciting. And you made fun of me for this. I wanted to talk about fat shaming, but I wanted to talk about it in terms of like our culture that we live in, and there's also something called a body positivity movement, which just, it sounds like one of those things that's really good, but I think on the other side of it, it can be not good, because you can have people who think that being incredibly overweight is okay and they want to be positive about their body, which I think is great.
So we're going to fat shame people.
No, not at all. Not at all. Not at all. No, I don't want to. And my thoughts on it, because a lot of times I'm in the morning when I take a walk, when I'm not with you or my friend, I try to come up with ideas for these. And I was just thinking about how that people probably fat shame themselves more than anyone else could do to you. You're probably harder on yourself, way harder on yourself than anyone else is. So, but I think because recently, I have no idea when this is going out to people, but Bill Mahr had a segment on America and on the unhealthiness, and people were calling him a fat shamer, I guess. And I thought that was interesting. I don't know that it's shaming necessarily to point out that, was it like 1 in 3 Americans is obese or
I think
something?
It's higher than that. I thought it was almost 60%.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's
Maybe my statistics are from 10 years ago or something like that. But it's high.
It's high.
Let's get going.
It's very high.
And it's really sad that that's the case. But I do feel like it's probably a vicious cycle of things. And I just don't think that anyone is harder on, themselves. So no one else can be as hard on me as I am on myself.
Right.
I guess is what I'm saying. So.
I think that's mostly the case.
Yeah. And I don't want for that to be for people. I think, but there's a fine line between because it's also called fat acceptance and stuff like that. I think it's tough because you have to want to change and be healthier, but you also kind of have to love yourself the way you are right now.
If I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me.
So it's this interesting dichotomy that it's tough to do. And I think the diet industry, the food industry, they prey on people, and everyone wants this quick fix thing, and that's just not the way it works.
Right.
So, but anyway, I was just thinking about that in terms of yes, a lot of Americans are really unhealthy, and he was also talking about, Bill Mahr was talking about some celebrities who they lose weight and they get shamed for that. So that's kind of ridiculous as well, because how dare you, Adele, or Rebel Wilson, I think, also lost a bunch of weight, and people want to comment. I guess people want to comment on celebrities in general. But I think it's terrible. If someone wants to do something, good for themselves, you should just shut up.
Don't worry about celebrities.
No, I know.
Just,
but, we're doing this video, and we're putting it out there, and hopefully, if someone could say, hey, you're a big fat fatty or something in the comments, and right now I would agree with you. But I'm just saying nothing that anyone can say to me is going to be as bad as what I comes up here to me.
Right.
And, so I think that's where this fat acceptance, fat shaming, whatever, it's this weird kind of cyclical thing, and I feel bad about it. I think it's worthy of a podcast or something someday to just talk about when is it too much there's the healthy at any size people as well. And it's that's just really not the case.
No.
Because, and it works both ways. There's people who are probably way too thin, and then there's people, we watch this for like sport, and it's kind of a terrible thing that we watch my 500-pound life or whatever,
Biggest Loser.
Yeah, people torturing themselves.
Why do I have a pervasive feeling with you that no matter what I do or what I say, it's not going to matter?
And that's really not what I want us to do.
No.
It's just this, I guess, what are you losing, like 2 to 3 pounds a week maybe?
Something like that.
And I've only tracked once, but I lost the 2 pounds. And I'm like, this is the healthy, natural way of doing this.
Right.
So,
yeah, well, I think there's a couple things in there. I think that, I'm going to go back to my Bible, Psycho-Cybernetics, and talk a little about, you talked about having to accept yourself right now, but want to change. And I think that in that book, they talk about having a nostalgia for the future. So everybody has this nostalgia for the past. Right. And I think that having a nostalgia for the future is exactly the prescription for this. It's what do you want to be, and then go for that. That's what you yearn for. That's what you pine for. Don't pine how you got here. Don't
right.
You're going to be great. And you're going to work at it. And then when you get to that great, then you're going to be another level of great. And so, like Matthew McConaughey said, his hero is himself 10 years from now. And then when he gets to that 10 years, no, he didn't meet his hero. It's himself 10 years from then.
Right, exactly.
So you see, every day, every week, every month, and every year of my life, my hero's always 10 years away. I'm never going to be my hero. I'm not going to attain that. I know I'm not. And that's just fine with me because that keeps me with somebody to keep on chasing.
And so have that nostalgia for the future, and, that'll really help.
Right. But don't shame yourself and don't beat yourself up for the past.
Right.
That doesn't help.
It doesn't help. You can't change it.
So I guess what I was saying is I see both sides of it. If Bill Maher was being called, called out for fat shaming, it's like, I think he was just pointing out the obvious. And he's a comedian, so he's going to do it in a mean-spirited way.
Well, he's going to do it for hits.
Right. Yeah. Well, obviously it worked on me. But I don't want anyone to do that.
No.
I want to be, namaste.
Very
but kind and gentle.
Don't ever let somebody else tell you what is beautiful or what you should see as beautiful. That's the other thing of this, but that's a whole nother.
That's another show, baby.
That's another show.
Okay.
All right. I think that's good for today. All right. Talk to you next time.